Good day, welcome to the channel of SA Accounting Network. Today I want to speak to you guys about retrenchment and UIF and about the different processes that you can take to claim UIF benefits from the Department of Labour. I'm going to be focusing on 3 different ways that you can apply. So the first one is if you do it online via e-filing. The second way that you can do it is manual applications. And the third one that we're going to be discussing is if you get a professional to assist you with the application. So I want to just run through those 3 different scenarios with you, and I want to show you step by step exactly how to do those UIF applications. So let me get onto my computer and then I'll show you exactly how it works. Okay, so what I want to share with you guys is the 3 ways to claim UIF from the Department of Labour if you get retrenched. So the first way that I said is if you do it online via e-filing. So I'm talked about here that there's a guide and a link on the website itself. So you'll see that on my website, let me just get to my website quickly over here, that if we go to SA Accounting Network, you'll see that on the website itself, on the left hand side, there's a link that I've put over there to say retrenchments. You'll see that on this website over here, I actually list all the documents that you will need. So I talk about the online claim for online UIF claims for retrenchment via e-filing, and there you can download the guide. And the other ones, I'm actually uploaded the documents over there as well for you. So let's quickly shoot down to that card, and I can show you quickly how that process works. So if you apply for UIF benefits via the e-filing website, what the process looks like, how it works, you'll see that the first thing is the e-filing registration process. You need to go to the e-filing website itself, and then there you need to complete the registration process to obtain a login and a user password. So you need to go to ufiling.co.za, and then you need to click on the little button on the right hand side at the top over there which says register. You can see that you will get a screen where you have to accept the terms and conditions of the UIF fund. After that you can press continue. So complete all the required information and click register. This will send you the capture data on the UIF verification. So you can see on the next screen over here, there will be a username. You have to put in your title, initials, your full names, your surnames, your ID number over there, and registration preferred contact, which would normally be email, or otherwise I think that gives you the option as well to do SMSs. Press the register button, and then you'll see that after that you will receive an email that will look like this. They will say, dear Mrs. or Mr. X, thank you for registering on e-filing. They will give you your username and then a temporary password that you can use to log into the e-filing system. After that, you can see over here, use the username and temporary password provided in the email to log into your new e-filing account. So you put in the username and password, and then after the first login, the system will prompt you to change the password. So you put in a temporary password, your new password, again save your password and just the password in. And it's always a good idea to make sure that this username and password, that you don't lose this, because if you lose it, then it means that you're going to have to try and reset your username and password, which means that you need to contact the Department of Labour at the call center and then reset the password through the call center, which at this stage is almost impossible to get through to the Department of Labour. So you need to be careful and make sure that you save this information over here. You can see step 6. For security reasons, you'll then have to complete a vetting process by confirming the democratic information about yourself, which will be compared to the data available to the Department of Labour. So here comes a questionnaire. You can see they talk about addresses, postal addresses, email addresses, mobile numbers, and employees. So for each one of those tabs, you can see they say, do you or have you ever lifted one of the physical addresses? So they will give you a list of about 4 or 5 different options, and in each one of those you need to put the correct answer. So if for some reason you get these answers wrong, then it also becomes a problem, because then you need to find the Department of Labour once again, and then they need to activate it from their side. So you need to be very, very careful when you go through this process and make double sure about the information over here, because if you blocked here, then you've got a problem, because then it means that you can't do your UIF application online. Then you would actually have to do the manual process, which we're going to talk about in a second as well. So you can see over here, so if any of the questions answered are incorrectly, a message will appear to indicate that you failed the vetting process. Please contact UIF support on the UIF services. So you can see there's a little button over there. Step 7, once you successfully completed the vetting, you will be directed to a page where you can update your personal details before you can proceed to the U-Filing website. So you can see over here, this is what that screen looks like. Please update your personal information before you can continue to the system. So you need to confirm your initials, surname, your addresses, and all that information over there. Next screen, over here to start with the benefit application. So the first part up to where we're here. So that whole process that we went through is just to register you as a user. Once you've got that step correct, then after that you can actually start using U-Filing for different types of things. So if you're an employer, you can actually go into U-Filing system, apply for your new UIF number. If you are an employee, then what we're going to be talking about now is UIF and retrenchments, and you can actually do your application process on the system over here. So you see over here, there's individuals can apply online for the following UIF benefits on the U-Filing website: unemployment benefits, reduced time benefits, maternity benefits, illness benefits, and adoption benefits. Step 1, click on the benefit application and process on the left, and then click on apply for benefits. So if you say apply for benefits over here, you can see over here it gives you those different options for the types of benefits you can apply for. Select which type of benefit you want to apply for, and then click apply in the bottom right corner. So you can see you must accept the terms and conditions once again to be able to process, and then they say verify your bank details and click on next to continue by clicking, or click on bank details incorrect. Bank details may only be captured once on the U-Filing system. To update new bank details, download the form UI 2.8, which we will talk about just now as well, from the Department of Labour, or otherwise on my website I've got the form as well. So one portion of the UI 2.8 must be completed by your bank, and the other portion must be completed by you. Email the completed UI 2.8 form and your contact details to ovo support@labour.gov.za. So here's the application for benefits. So the first one was the terms and conditions, then your banking details. You can see the next tab over there is your personal details. Confirm and update your personal details, including your physical and postal addresses, and click on next. You can see over there is all your personal details which you can confirm. Step 6, complete the information related to your occupation and qualifications, and click on next. And then update your work seeker information and submit. When you are done to send your application to UIF. Submit when you are done to send your application to UIF. You will receive a confirmation message if your application was successfully submitted. You can see over here, and there's the little screen, application for benefits was submitted successfully. Step 8, the process apply for all the other benefits types. So select the type of benefit you want to apply for, confirm bank details, personal details, occupation, confirm employment status, and submit the application to UIF. So if you can get it right to do your application on U-Filing, I think that's first prize, because you can actually log into the system, see what's happening, whether there's any progress. So I think it just makes the whole process a little bit easier. If you don't come right there, then the next option, as I just mentioned earlier in the talk as well, is to do a manual application. So I want to run through that process as well with you and explain to you quickly all the documents that you need. So if you look at the manual process, you can see on my website, they say you need to the following forms or documents, and then take the fully completed forms to UIF or to the closest Department of Labour offices if you want to claim UIF or retrenchment. So the forms, you need a clear copy of your ID of the employee, and the ID card must be front and back on one page. So that's really important. Don't go to the Department of Labour if you haven't got that copy of your ID, and it's always a good idea to take your ID and make sure that it's certified as well. And it's just something extra as well, because the problem is you don't want to get to the Department of Labour and stand in those queues for 2 or 3 hours, and then they get to the front and they send you back on something small. So always make double sure about that. Next bullet point over there, point B, as a UI 2.1 completed and signed by the employee. So if you look at the UI 2.1 form, this is what it looks like. It's also on my website, so you can go download the form over there. It is Unemployment Insurance Act, application for unemployment benefits in terms of section 17(1). So there you would put in your ID number, date of birth, male or female, your first name, your surname, postal address, code, telephone number, residential address, your occupation, email, your highest qualification that you've got educationally. You can see over here further requirements. Are you registered as a work seeker with the Department of Labour? So at the moment, if you just got retrenched, you're probably not. Are you capable of work right now? The answer would probably yes. If you are not capable of work, please explain. Then you would have to put in a little explanation over there. Are you currently employed? If you were retrenched, obviously the answer would be no. Or were you on reduced work time? Has your employer completed the UI 2.7, which they probably would have. And that is what the UI 2.1 form is about. It's not a difficult form to complete. It's quite straightforward. You can see the next thing on my list over there is a termination notification from your employer. So the day when you got retrenched from your employer, they would have given you a letter to say, this is the last day of your employment, this is when you're going to finish. And that letter of termination, that is the one that you need to take through to the Department of Labour with your UIF letter over there. The UI 2.8 form. So what that is about is the confirmation of the bank details. And you can see over here is what that form looks like. So you say I, or the UIF Commissioner Claims Officer I, then you put your name and surname over there, your ID number. And then you can see over here, it's just about confirmation of the bank details. You can see the documentary proof of the bank account, like a bank statement, ATM slips, cancelled check must be attached, your signature and the date. So you can see at the bottom part of here is to be completed only by the bank or the building society. So don't go and complete it yourself. The person at the bank's got to complete this section over here. And then once you've got that form, remember together with the proof of the banking details, you need to take that with as well. You can see that was the completed and signed by the employee. The next one is the UI 19, completed and signed by the employer. So what that form is about, it looks like this. So this is something that your employer will give to you. So you'll see on that thing will be the employer's UIF reference number, the pay-as-you-earn number, addresses, posted addresses, company registration documents, contact numbers, fax numbers, email addresses, and then your details will be on this form down here at the bottom. So you'll see over here will be your surname, initials, your ID number, your monthly salary, total hours you work per month, the date when you were employed, and then obviously the termination date. What's important in these forms, you can see over here at the bottom, you've got these codes that they have to use. So you see there under code 11, it is retrenched or staff reduction. So here on the right hand side, you see the reason for termination. So over here inside this block, it's got to be number 11. Otherwise, they cannot process your claim at the Department of Labour. So those are the forms that you will need to take through to the Department of Labour. The next way that you can do your UIF claim for retrenchment is if you use somebody who's a specialist in that area. We are general accountants, but I've got quite a few people in my network that we work with, and somebody that we've been working quite closely with to you guys about. There's just other considerations. So going through the retrenchment process is always a very stressful time for anybody. So I think the first thing is to stay calm and to get advice, because as soon as people are stressed, they tend to make wrong decisions because they're under pressure. So always make sure that you get the right people around you during this time, people that can give you sound financial advice. And that's normally where a good financial advisor and a good tax accountant as well come into play. Next point over there, I said revise your budget. So I think this is the time where you need to try and see where you can cut your monthly cost to bring your budget down as low as possible, because the problem is you don't know how long you're going to be sitting without work for, so you need to make sure that you look after your money, especially in this time. Number 3, protect your severance package and your retirement benefits. I've seen so many times in the past where people get retrenched and then they just take that money which they received and they just go spend it. Then a year later they've got no more money left, they haven't got work, and then they're sitting with big problems over there. Next point over there, I said don't burn your bridges. I think that's really important as well. Remember that this thing that we're busy going through at the moment is only a temporary thing. It's not going to last forever. So you never know, maybe even one day your employer might even phone you to recall you, to bring you back to your employment. So now, if you're going to burn your bridges, then you're going to just cause yourself problems. And the problem is your current employer as well is the person who's going to have to give you references for future employment. So be very wise how you leave the company. I said over there, don't cancel insurance. I think that's one thing that a lot of people are trying to do. They see it as something extra, something that's not necessary, but I think that's probably one of the most important things to keep during this time, is to make sure that you keep your insurance up to date. Next point I said is speak to your finance houses as well. So if you've got car payments, bond repayments and those type of things, there would normally be a clause inside those policies that will cover your your premiums for a certain amount of months in a situation where you do get retrenched. So it's worth speaking to them as well. And the last bullet point over there, I said update your CV and your LinkedIn profile and look at your business plan. This might be the opportunity that you've been waiting for a long time to be able to start your own business. If you do want to start your own business, get involved with or get in touch with a decent accountant that can help you through the process, and so that you can start living your dream as well. I want to wish you guys luck on your application process with the UIF benefits for retrenchment. If you do it well, you can get benefits paid out, I think up to 324 days, which is about 8 months of benefits that you can get from the Department of Labor. So good luck in your quest. Remember to subscribe to my channel, like the video as well, and share it with your friends as well. Thank you for watching.